everybody, it is time for us to get super practical. We learned a little bit about the biblical idea of taking the chaos of our lives and structuring it as God did, about planned rest and Sabbaths and things like that. Last session we talked a little bit about how the power of a word can transform your entire life. Today I want to drill down on a little bit of how do I begin to do this. Years ago, a friend of mine invented what he calls the block system. I think the block system is a good one. And it's a good place to start if you're not already trying to calendar your life in such a way for health. Remember, that's what we're doing. Ultimately, we are calendaring for health, calendaring for a healthier you. And so when we begin to talk about how do we do this, let me show you the way most of us do our calendar. And you'll see how quickly it gets out of control. So here's a simple block system right here. I put this one in red because this is the way I don't want you to do it. All right, this one's in red. 8 a.m., 12 p.m., 4 p.m. Basically, looking at what does a 12-hour day look for you? What's it look like from 8 to 12? What's it look like from 12 to 4? What's it look like from 4 to 8? Now, your day might already feel longer than that. It might start earlier than that. You might have to adjust those times. That's not really what's important to me. What's important to me is understanding that we all kind of have these times, right? These times where we could be working and could be active. Roughly, it's 12 hours. Roughly, it's 12 hours a day. Sometimes it feels longer. For those of you maybe that are trying to get out of debt or something, you might be working multiple jobs. You're going, oh my gosh, when's the last time I only had a 12-hour day? I understand all of that. This is just an example, so don't get hung up on those details just yet. And then Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I always start with Sunday for a couple of different reasons, but we'll get into that in just a second. Sunday through Saturday. Now, let me tell you how I calendar for years, and I think how probably many of you calendared for years. You calendar the stuff that you have to do, right? Isn't that what we usually do? So let's say you have a normal job, and you're at work from 8 to 4, 8 to 5, 9 to 5, maybe it's 7 to 3, it doesn't matter. But you're at work every day. And so what we tend to do is this. We go okay, work, remember the power of the word, so we're going to write the word work in here, work. And I'm just going to put a W the rest of the way. It's easier for me, keeps it quicker in the class. Work, 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 work. This is Monday through Friday. Work, 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 and maybe you're going to knock off early on Friday. So we'll give you that for today. But here we are, right? 8 hours a day, work, 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 work. That's what I do. Not everybody does that. I realize some people have jobs at different times, different hours, those kind of things. This is just an example. And then we go, okay, what else do I have to do? Well, I've got kids. Let's say you've got kids, and we've got sports on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Let's say Friday. Sports 3 times a week. Oh my gosh, now I'm getting really full. And then you go, well, I've got to really go grocery shopping. So I usually go grocery shopping on Saturday morning. Go to the grocery on Saturday morning. And you know what? I have got to get the lawn mowed. So lawn mowed on Saturday afternoon. Lawn mowed. And you know what? I've really been wanting to be in that women's Bible study on Tuesdays. So Bible study. That one's one that I've committed to. So I better keep doing that. Or I better keep in that Bible study. And you know what? I can't ever miss the Packers or Bears games. So I'm probably watching football right there. That's not going to go anywhere. That's something that's in my calendar, in my schedule, and oh gosh, I really want to take that spin class, and that spin class is on Sunday morning. So I got spin in there, spin class in there, and oh gosh, and I've got that dinner that I'm supposed to have with my friend and Jeannie, oh gosh, that's Thursday, so I better make sure I put that dinner in there on Thursday night, and and all of a sudden you look at your life and you go, holy wow, almost every square of my life is full right now. Almost every square in my life is busy right now. Almost every square in my life is so consumed with the stuff that I have to do. And oh gosh, there is that work party on Saturday night I forgot about. I got to go to that too. So I got that work party on Saturday night. And so my life's really busy, Adam. And so you and talking about calendaring and the power of word, it sounds really good, but I'm not even sure, Adam, how I'm going to do that. Oh, my parents are coming over on Sunday night. I forgot about that. Sunday afternoon for dinner. So my parents are going to be there. So I got to make sure I put that in my calendar. And so, Adam, I understand what you're saying. I understand that there's power in a word, and I really want to do, just harness my time and all that kind of stuff. But I'm really not sure how in the world I'm going to, get through all of this when it comes to, oh no, I've got that project that I promised that I do. Oh gosh, I'm actually going to probably end up working on Friday afternoon this week too, and work project, and oh, my calendar's full. This is so important. You are in charge of your calendar. You're in charge of it. You have the power to not let this happen. You have the power to not let your life come to a place where it's affected in this way. And it's going to start probably with a block system, if you've never done this before. And then it's going to move gradually into I've got power over every hour in my calendar, in my life. And what I want to encourage you to is that you can do this. But don't start this way. If you start this way, you're going to fail. It's not going to turn out the way you want it to, and you're not going to become the person that you want to be in 6 months, and you're not going to become the person that God's designed for you to be in this life. So let's start over. All right? Let's start over on this calendar here. Okay? Let's start over on this blue calendar over here. I want to teach you to calendar your priorities first. Sounds strange, doesn't it? Calendar your priorities first. Let me show you how I do this. And I'm going to tell you, I've done this when I was a full-time pastor, when I was a part-time pastor. I've done this when I have had multiple jobs or one job. And if you do it, it can change your life. I know one graduate student who was going crazy, and when we started doing this in her life, it changed everything. And she realized she could graduate, work her job, and still have a life all at the same time. We have to start with calendaring our priorities first. It's kind of like this. You ever seen there's an old trick with a water bottle or a pitcher, and you fill it up with stones, like little stones and sand and things. If you put the smaller stones in first, you can't get the big rocks in to the jar. If you put the big rocks into the jar first, you can fill up with sand and pebbles and water and get so much more in because you put in the important big rocks first. Now, let me tell you, if you put in the big rocks first on your calendar, it will change your life. It will change the way you do things, and it will change the way that you have margin and rest. So check this out. This is how I calendar. And I want to tell you, everybody can do this. It doesn't matter if you have one job, two jobs, 5 kids like I do. This is important. Some of you down here don't know this. I have 5 children. I have a spouse. I have a thriving and growing church. I have a busy life, and yet I can do this. If I can do this, you can do this, okay? So hear me out on this. Schedule your priorities first. Okay? Schedule your priorities first. For me, a priority is Sabbath. Right? It's rest. For me, priority is family. For me, priority is time with God. For me, priority is worship. In fact, I want to teach you a discipline that somebody taught me a few years ago, and they said, I'm going to turn this just a little bit more, and they said if you calendar worship first, it's almost like tithing your worship. It's like giving it to God first. So it's one of the first things I do when I calendar out my week. In fact, that's a practice that wouldn't be bad for some of you. Sunday night, every week, start calendaring. Take half hours, put it in your calendar that Sunday night at 8 o'clock, whatever it is, Sunday night at 8 o'clock, I'm going to calendar out my week so that my schedule doesn't get away from me. And this is what I do. I always do this. I put worship in here first. Worship. Now you're going, Adam, that's work for you. It is. But there's something about the discipline of saying, I'm going to go to worship every Sunday. So I encourage you, pull out your iCal or your Google Calendar right now on your phone and actually do that. Write worship at the hour that you like to go every week. Put it in there. Put it in there. Just start your week that way. Put it on repeat. Your calendar has a repeat option. Put it on repeat every week. And so what I do is I calendar out my worship. Now you think the next thing that I would do is go to those W's, those work blocks, right? But that's not how I go. This is what I do next. The next thing I begin to do for me is go, when are my times with my family and with God? And so I'll do things like, okay, Tuesday, family. Let's just say we go Tuesday, family, and I go Friday, family. Family. And you might come to me and go, well, what happens when, Adam, you find out on a Tuesday night that somebody in your church is getting a divorce? Guess what? I don't want that to happen in my family, so I spend time on Tuesday night with my family, and then I call them on Wednesday. That might sound terribly uncompassionate, but my ministry is first to my spouse and to my children, and I need to make sure I'm loving them well. And so if it comes up on a family night where somebody's in crisis, that crisis is probably not going to go away by the next morning. So I'm going to spend time with my family first so that I can love them better the next day and not feel like I'm dissing my family. It's a tough thing, but it's an important thing. So I write those days in. Family first. Worship. Family. The other thing I like to do, and not everybody can do this, is I write in rest. And let's just say, family time, I've got some rest time here. Let's just say that, rest is a Saturday thing. Now, for me, it's not, I realize, because my work day is a little different, because my work week is Sunday through Thursday. So I actually do this. I actually try and put this in here. I try and put rest in here like this. Rest. Rest. Let me define rest for a minute. What are the things that energize you? If mowing the lawn energizes you, it might be rest. If mowing the lawn doesn't energize you, don't do it during your rest time. If spending time with your family rejuvenates you, put that in your rest time. But if it doesn't, don't put it in your rest time. Put the things that rejuvenate you. Maybe it's, there was a season where I would put Zeke and Dad watching football. That was like our Saturday morning thing until you got a little bit older. And so we would just put that in. In fact, we still do a lot of that as a family. We watch a lot of game day. Now, that's only part of the year. So that's why calendaring is not just a one-time-a-year thing. But schedule in rest. Put in rest. Maybe you're just like, I know that I need rest on Thursdays. Now, you might do that. Rest. That sounds crazy, right? But when you do that, you're scheduling a priority before you schedule your busyness. And when we schedule our priorities first, it releases us to say, no, Adam, can we go out to dinner on Wednesday night? I love you. That sounds really good. But actually, I know that if I don't get that downtime, I have some really important things that I need to do on Thursday. I'm filming a sermon on Thursday, and I've got a staff retreat on Thursday afternoon, and I want to make sure that I do counseling well, that 2 o'clock slot on Thursday afternoon. So if I can't do those things well because I didn't rest on Wednesday, you see the point? You've got to schedule your priorities first. And I'll tell you some more ways to do this. But if you start with the power of these words, family, rest, all the rest stuff, then you begin to calendar out your week. Now, here's where I get maybe a little bit more particular than some people will. I actually say what I'm going to do in those work times. For some people, your work time is going to be a 9 to 5, I do the same thing every day kind of a job. For me, I actually write down what I'm going to do. Like I told you a little bit ago, a creative space is Tuesday morning. Creative space of creating classes like this, writing sermons, thinking about future sermon series, leading my team in a new direction or teaching them something new. Tuesday mornings is a creative space. It's really important for me. Meetings are on Wednesdays. I know this is staff time. This is staff time with people. The other thing I do is I have 2 days a week where I do lunches. I have 2 days a week where I do lunches, and those are the only 2 times a week I do lunches with people. If they can't do lunches on those days, it's probably not going to happen. I actually have to schedule out when I'm going to do my lunches. Okay, so there's power in the words here, and if you start with the good stuff, with the important stuff, the rest of the stuff will begin to fall into place. The rest of the stuff will begin to fall into place. I know on Mondays I am not real creative. I know on Mondays I am not really good at creating new content or new sermons or being the best leader. So Monday mornings is, I just write down busy work. Busy work. I mean, I start there. I start with busy work, and that's what I do. I do my busy work on Monday mornings, little things that take very low energy, take very low creativity, take very low emotion from me. So I actually begin to calendar out even that way. This is the things that I'm going to do in that space or in that time. And then I know that I have small group on Monday nights. Now, here's the interesting things when it comes to Sunday evenings. Like, I know I've got small group on Monday nights. I know on Sunday nights, Sunday night, I know coming up very soon here, I've got what's called a leadership team meeting. So I know on that week already, I've got small group and a leadership team meeting on 2 of the 7 nights of my week. I made a commitment a long time ago to my family that I would not be gone more than 3 nights a week, because I believe my family is more important than my ministry. And if my family is more important than my job, then I'm not going to be gone more than 3 nights a week. So I'm committed to, I've already got 2 things here. If something else is a part of my week, like let's say on Wednesday night, my kids have Revolution. They have student ministry, Revolution. Sorry, I can't spell today. Revolution. They have youth group. A lot of times I will schedule a parent meeting during that time, or a board meeting during that time. Let's say I've got those 3 things scheduled. As soon as I'm calendaring out my week on Sunday night, I'm getting ready for my week, and I know I've got a leadership team meeting, I know I've got small group that week, and I know I've got this meeting on Wednesday. I immediately make sure that Saturday is definitely off limits. The Saturday is the day I won't touch, because that would have been a 4th night of something I'm doing for my job that week, and I don't want that to happen. So I will make sure immediately I take that out. So that's why calendaring is so important, getting out ahead of your week, so that I know I can say no to things on Saturday night. So if Saturday night there's a crisis, Saturday night there's something going on in somebody's life that they want my attention for, I know that's not probably going to happen. What's going to probably happen on Saturday night is going to be maybe a cookout in my neighborhood, is going to be maybe grandma and grandpa coming over and spending some extended family time. It's going to be us watching a movie together as a family. Those things are going to take precedence. The things that bring me rest and life and energy and joy are going to take precedence to my Saturday night, and not work, not something work related. Even if, let's say, oh my gosh, there's a family in my church that's been wanting to have me over for months and months and months and months, and they might be like, invite me over on this Saturday. I'm going to be like, listen, I love you, I think you're important, this week is not going to work. I've already been gone 3 nights this week. I've already been gone on Sunday night for a leadership team meeting. I had small group on Wednesday, and I had a parent meeting or small group on Monday, a parent meeting on Wednesday. There's no way Saturday night is going to work this week. As much as I want to give you my time and attention, my priority is to resting that night, is to being home and near my family and doing something with them before I do something work related. That's a tricky thing as a pastor sometimes, because work-related is also friendships, is also the family of God, is always important, and everyone in my church and everybody in my church world is important to me. And so I have this oh gosh, I want to say yes to that. And yet for me, we say this all the time in our family, Saturdays are sacred. Saturdays are sacred, so I'm going to probably say no. I'm going to probably say no, because that's such a rest and family day for us. It's a time for us to have a barbecue in the neighborhood. It's a time for us to go golfing, one of the things that I love to do to rest. It rejuvenates and gives energy to my life. It's a time for me to do that. But the encouragement I want to give to all of you when it comes to this session is that calendar your priorities first. Don't start with this model where work, and then try and fit everything in. Start with this model and calendar your rest and your family and your worship, and then calendar the rest of it. Okay. I got one more time. I'm going to come back to you today, but this is the big moment of this. In order to be the person you want to be, in order to become the person that God has designed for you to become, you have to start with your priorities first and then fill in your calendar. Don't fill in your calendar and then try and put on the stuff that you think really matters. All right, we'll have one more session. We're going to talk about using your digital devices to calendar and kind of the way I do it now. But if you haven't started anywhere, the block system is a great way to start. Don't start this way with work, and then priorities. Try and start this way with priorities first, and then fill in the stuff that might drain and suck your life away. All right. I hope this is starting to make sense. I hope it's starting to jive with you. One more session. See you back soon.